Hi everyone, it's Cindy and I have a project share. This is my fairy book. I have used lots of different stuff to make this thing. First of all, there's my little house on the cover, my little fairy house. And I guess we'll start there. This came about because Cooper was here one day and one of the goldfish in our fish pond outside died, and Cooper wanted to have a funeral and we needed to make a cross. So I dug out a box of popsicle sticks I have in my stash, and on the cover was a popsicle stick house. It was really cute, and I thought, I think I want to do that on my fairy book. So that's what I did. I, adapted it a little bit, made my little fairy house title. The paper used in this cover is from, got it from Michaels. I don't know if it's Recollections or Craftsmith, honestly. It's one of the Paradise collections. Can't remember the title. I fussy cut out of one page. It was all leaves, and I fussy cut all these leaves out. I think there's about 50 of them, because. And then this is a sort of a tropical floral page, and so that's the true background, and then the leaves are sort of just to make it blend in and, put around the cottage. My little door opens. Let me get my little loop out of there. And inside is this sweet little fairy that I printed, or stamped from Kaiser Crafts Fairy Garden collection. Watercolored her using the Primo Confections watercolors. And then I used some Yasutomo pearlescent watercolors for things like the wings, and in different places throughout the book you'll see that I've used those. So yeah, that's the cover. Used some green tulle for closure. It's quite a chunky monkey, 2.5 inches. And I have this tea-dyed doily. It's a big oval doily that I wrapped around and glued in place over top this pink and white polka dot fabric that I also tea-dyed. And this is just a piece of ephemera from the Kaiser Craft ephemera kit from that same Fairy Garden collection. So, yeah, let's get to it. Originally, I had planned to put 3 signatures in this book, but they're fat. There's lots of stuff in each signature, and it just got too fat. So I have another book that I made, and I'll show you that in a minute if I don't run out of space on my memory card. So inside the cover, actually the inside of both covers, I have these expandable pockets that I made, and they close with Velcro. And inside is some tea-dyed paper for taking, for whatever journaling one wants to do. There's plenty of room. It expands a full inch at the top for whatever else you might want to put in there. Just use some pink gingham ribbon to make a little bow at the top. And that's that. The other papers I used for the covers on the signatures are from DCWV's Linen and Lace collection. I've gotten my money's worth out of that $10 pack of paper, let me tell you. I bought it to make wedding books a few years ago. 3 men in my family were getting married, and so I made books in boxes. I decorated cigar boxes to match the books with the same paper, and made each of them a memory box. 2 of the marriages, no, only one. But another marriage that I made a book for has dissolved. So I kind of feel like I have a poor track record, 50-50 at this point. This is a die from China on top of a die cut from a Tim Holtz die that I, used I had punched out all of the little bits, these pieces, out of the main background, laid that in place, taped it with some masking tape, and then I put all these pieces back in place, pulled the paper away, and there I have my little design. This is on a distress oxide background. Yeah. Okay. Little fairy that Sabrina sent. She had picked them up at Walmart. There's one at the front of each of the signatures. And I've used some stamps Besides the Kaisercraft stamp set with the little fairies, this is a coin envelope and some tags that I made. This is, behind this envelope is some paper that I watercolored with the Yasutomo pearlescent watercolors, and on one side, and on the other side I use those same confections from Prima, and tea-dyed the paper. And I'm real happy with how it turned out, matching it up to Ivy Shutter's papers. That's what this collection is, by the way. Ivy Shutter's is her fairy dust collection. So, yes. Regular tea-dyed paper. This is the Tim Holtz Collage Papers Botanical, and a bingo card that I've collaged up and put a couple of tags in. This is just some paper that I've had probably for 35 years, and I have been using it up in books. It's also tea-dyed. And then I mounted the fairy dust papers from Ivy Shutters on these colored copy paper because it's a short book. I mean, it's only, I think it's just under 7 inches, and I wanted a bigger book, so I just put them on there and let them sort of speak for themselves. So, yeah, this is one of the stamps that I got from, let me flip that back open, from Tonic Studios warehouse sale last month, and I think they look cute. I put one stamp, there's 5 stamps, and there's at least one stamping in each of the signatures. That's what I'm trying to say. There's more of the paper from Ivy Shutter. It's so pretty. And this is more of that Yasutomo pearlescent paper. This is obviously a CD envelope, and there's the die cut from Tim Holtz for the picture viewer, and I just did some layering. This was inspired by Gail Agostinelli. She had done this, and I thought it was so neat, and thought, I have that stuff. I'm going to do that. So I did. An Edith Holden page, which I think goes so well with the whole fairy thing. And tea-dyed paper, the watercolor paper from DCWV's Legends, Graphs, and I don't know, text. Legends, text, and maps, I think is what it is. It may be maps, text, and legends, or text, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I like the paper. It's very convenient to put in a piece of graph paper or whatever. That's also tea-dyed. I had a tea-dyeing party. And more of the Ivy Shutters paper. Here's a little paper sack with the damask print on it. Folded it up and made a pocket here. And another pocket up out of the sack. So that's that. A pocket here made from ribbon with a lace trim. And more of that paper from the Legends, Maps, whatever. This is another one of those oval doilies, and more of the Ivy Shutter's fairy dust papers. That's the center of the signature. So the back half is pretty much the same. I think we have a, fabric flip, and here is a little charm. This is I don't know if I can get it up there. This is so odd. But anyway, it's a fairy swinging on a star. So I hope you can see that. It's so hard for me because I can't see what you're seeing. And I apologize for that. More of that paper. This is a piece of paper. This is an envelope made from a piece of paper from Seven Gypsies that I've had for quite some time. And it's just a regular 8.5 by 8.5 piece of paper, and I made an envelope, but instead of having the flap open this way, I have it opening this way. Made a card, or a journaling card for inside. And that's another Gail Agostinelli inspired piece. So I just have that paper clipped in there. Watercolored paper, tea-dyed paper, Edith Holden, another stamp. I just think those stamps are so cute. I hope I'm getting them in the viewfinder. So, like I said, from here, it's pretty self-explanatory. Just a pocket out of another piece of ribbon that I got on clearance at Walmart the other week. That botanical collage paper that I tea-dyed. A little pocket from Tim Holtz, the slotted pocket die. And that's the end of the signature. The second signature is almost, it's very much the same. There's another one of those stamps. Very similar, the same stamp here in green on green. This I had attached and wanted it to swing, and it was kind of cute when it was swinging, but you know what, it was super annoying, because every time I had to handle the book, that little thing would be flopping all over the place, and I didn't know what was going on, so I glued it down. Yeah, so I'm just going to flip through this without saying much, unless I am inspired to do so. It's very much the same as the previous signature. They're laid out entirely the same. You know, hold in the slotted pocket with various ephemera. This stamp, and I've done this in several places. Some of it you probably can't see on the camera, but this is a stamp by Indigo Blue. It's one of those stamps that you got with a magazine. I think it was Stamp Perfect magazine or something like that, several years ago. So, yeah, I just love it for this kind of thing. It just, you know, flows on the bottom of the page so well. So I did that with several different colored inks throughout the book. More of that pearlescent. There's that little stamp there. Love how that one turned out. This little pocket, same as in the other signature. Another stamp. And the CD envelope thingamajiggy. And like I said, it's very similar from one signature to the next. And there's the center. More sort of subtle stamping. And the fabric flip here. And this is just a fairy hanging around. I don't know. Am I getting anywhere near you? You can see it. And, yeah. So, over here is an envelope from the collection from Ivy Shutters, and I've put some tea-dyed paper in that. Another coin envelope, and she's just hanging out up there. The Edith Holden, another pocket with some little tags. Some of the Ivy Shutters paper. That bingo card, and actually there's no, this is a pocket, but I was dumb and it's on the wrong side. It opens here. And I had a tag in there, and it was just useless. So I took it out with much difficulty and stuffed it in one of these other pockets, I think. So, yeah, it's actually right there. So, yeah, so that's my book. But this is another sort of layered thing that I came up with. Is a Tim Holtz die. There's some lace behind this, and then one of the pieces from the ephemera kit from Kaisercraft, and just one of those oval tags in there. So that's that book. I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. Then I have, because I had that extra signature, I went ahead and made a cover, and made a softcover one signature book. And here it is. I didn't have anything set aside to do that, so I had to come up with something for the cover. Makes me very angry with myself. I forgot about the beautiful wallpaper border I had purchased with fairies on it that I wanted to use for a cover. Totally forgot I have that, and I went ahead and used a piece of tea-dyed muslin, stamped those stamps from Tonic Studios all over it randomly in different colors that I've used in the books, and just put a piece of sparkly pink tulle under a die cut of a fairy. This is a China thing that I got off eBay. I put metal corners on the book because it is just fabric and one piece of cardstock inside. So on the inside cover, these are the two papers that we used on the cover of the other book. I just used those leftovers to make this cover. Love this tag. I'm not going to show you everything in the book, but this tag just turned out so well. I think it's so pretty. I cut a manila folder, and so that's what this is. You know, did some little bit of distressing, and then I did some distress oxides, peacock feathers, and what is it called? Tattered rose. And then I, hit it with some water so you can see some of the effects that we got under there. Then I put a piece of tulle, just like on the cover. These are 2 pieces of ephemera from that kit from Kaisercraft. And I just, distressed the edges with vintage photo. This is another piece of ephemera from that kit, or that packet. I just think it's so pretty. I think it turned out so well. And lots of journaling space. So, yeah, so that's on the inside cover. I'm just going to flip through real quickly because everything is very similar to the 2 signatures in the other book. And I'll only point out things that I think are, worth pointing out. This this pocket is made from a piece of wide, 6-inch wide eyelet trim that I got from Diane at a Pretty Pink Cottage, and I tea-dyed it, and then I put it in half to make 2 pockets. So there's a little front pocket and then the back pocket. So I love that, and this paper turned out to be perfect to put it on. And I glued it on even though I had planned to sew it because I didn't want to sew through this paper, which is so pretty. So there's that little coin envelope, same flip down, there's tea-dyed paper inside. And yeah, I'm quite happy with these books. I think they turned out really well. And that things flowed together nicely. There's the little charm in this signature on the paper, or the fabric flip. There's the CD envelope and the picture viewer die cut inside, layered up and collaged and all that stuff. This is a little die from China. Nothing too remarkable there. There's that layered thing that I did with the Tim Holtz die, and some vintage paper. This paper is actually from a book that I got from Diane at Pretty Pink Cottage. It's over 100 years old, so that's kind of fun. The paper is very brittle, and then I just made a layered tag here with some of the ephemera and a piece of fabric from that little ephemera kit from Kaisercraft. And here's the center of this signature. And this is an envelope from the collection from Ivy Shutters. There's tea-dyed paper in there as well. And fabric pocket with some lace trim. There's that little slotted pocket and the Edith Holden paper. Those tags I made the other day. This is actually from Prima Marketing, from the Stationer's Desk, I think, is the collection it came from. Little Dragonfly. Because it has an ink bottle and a pair of scissors. I think it is Stationer's Desk. I used the heck out of that set, of that collection. But I have a few of those pieces left, so I put them on there. There's the Ivy Shutters paper. That collage paper, there's nothing on there on that side. The back of the signature, there's a pocket with one of those tags I made the other day. These little tags were from the collection from Ivy Shutters. Back here is that bingo card deal, and it's a top pocket. I made a nifty little tag here this morning. I believe I did it this morning. Maybe yesterday, I don't remember. But it's slanted, just a piece of that same paper, and I put a tag. That's a piece of ephemera that I picked up from eBay. Those that came in little matchboxes, if you recall that video. And I just made a little journaling spot and tucked that in there. On back here, this bag or this journaling card has a glassine bag with some collage napkin on it, and I put 2 small, just lightly distressed tags in with some pretty lavender ribbon on top, and that goes in there. So that's that little book. The 2 of these will be listed today if this video is anything worth putting up. This is the 3rd time I've attempted this video. The first time I got interrupted by my sister coming in the house and saying, "Hello!" And I thought you didn't want to hear that. And so I killed that video. The second time, it was so out of focus, it was sad. So here we are. Let's hope we come up with a decent video this time. Anyway, please like, comment, subscribe, and check this out. They will be listed in my Etsy shop, and I will leave a link to my shop in the, yeah, whatever that is. Went totally blank on what that little box is called below. I think I need to go get some lunch. So thank you all for watching. We'll see you soon.